We are. So there we go. We're driving northwards on Twin Dams, and this is where the monkeys were alarm calling, and there's our little boy tucked into some very thick grass and is looking very sleepy and sorry for himself. Shamo, you also cold. The two boys this morning are in the sorry states, actually. They both are in the same way. We're kind of tucked in and rounded up and sort of trying to stay nice and warm on a coolish morning. So both of them are not far from one another, but still in the same kind of pose. It's quite funny, actually, to see the two of them. But little Thamba, you can see his little green eyes opening every now and then. Maybe if I just roll slightly forward for you, Senzo, so that you don't have that grass in your way. I'm just trying to go forward slightly. Now, Rusty's obviously squeaking, but there's his beautiful green eye that we know of, and he's just curled up. And he's in the same area once again that we've been seeing him the last few days. He's in a very similar place. It seems as though he has not moved from this section. And I wonder, Shame, if he's waiting for Mom to come back and get him, and that's why he's patiently sitting in the same place, not moving around. And yet, well, we know Mom is on food and has not come here, so she, I don't think, is too concerned about him anymore, and has decided that she's going to start the separation process. I would imagine she'll come past every now and then, but I don't think she's really too worried about looking after little Thamba anymore. I think she's leaving him on his own to fend for himself now, and it's going to be a tough time of it. We know that little Hosanna had a bit of a sort of wobbly couple first months trying to get things going and trying to find his way and to see how it is to be a male on your own. And well, I think Thamba's going to have a very similar situation to Hosanna. It's going to take him a bit of time until he's going to be hunting big animals, and he's going to have a tough time of sort of working out where to go and how to spend his time. But the nice thing is that he is here on Djuma, and that means that I don't think he's going to move around too much off Djuma, and we'll probably have him most days, I would say, for the next couple of weeks, unless Thandi comes and fetches him. You can see not quite as full as what Hosanna is. He's got a little bit less of a tummy on him, so he's a little bit on the skinnier side, and that will be the case for the first little bit. As he kind of works out what he's got to do and how he's got to go about things, he will be slightly on the skinnier side than what Hosanna is for now. But that will change once he works things out, and the fact that he's caught a scrub here already, and he kind of roughly knows what he's doing, and he's starting to stalk warthogs, and he's starting to stalk nyala and all these kind of things, he will eventually find a way to find food and to be able to get himself some sort of a meal. So he's going to be just fine. I think he'll survive with everything else until then, but really nice to see the two of them so close. And they've spoilt us. These two boys have been our savior, really, and they've provided ample amounts of time with them. We've seen a lot of very special sightings with both of them, and they have been the source of our leopard luck, really. If we think about it, we have seen a lot of individuals, but these two have been the main stars in our sort of cat streak that we're on here at Djuma at the moment. Mr. P from Canada, you're asking if it's unheard of that two male leopards would form a coalition. Yes, as far as I know, I've never heard of a coalition of leopard, but I always wish there was one. I think it would be quite cool to see. But no, as far as I know, they've never been a coalition. I've seen males kind of been quite relaxed with one another and walk around fairly close to one another, and there's a bit of growling and a bit of hissing, but nothing too major, especially young males, but never a proper coalition that will lie next to one another, that will move around together and defend one another. That I've never seen. It's just not in their nature, not in their instinct. Their instinct is to be solitary individuals, and so, if you think how many male litters have been born where it's brothers that have stayed together all their life that separate, it's just in their instinct is to separate off and go on their own. So, no, not as far as I know. It would be cool though. Imagine Hosanna and Thamba was our first leopard coalition. That would be awesome. I think they would be a serious coalition. They'd be both big boys, and the dark eyes and light eyes would really, the ladies would have a tough time to choose between these two boys, and it would be quite interesting to see what would go on. But in all likelihood, no, they're not going to really go after one another. Now, since I don't know if you can get this little bird that is right next to me here, that's very cute, and they're not a bird we can get on camera very often, but just here, oh no, it's jumping. He's really not interested. He's just, I'm not going anywhere. I'm in a ball. I'm sleeping. You guys need to come back later if you want some sort of entertainment. So I don't think we're going to spend too long with him, just given that the view of him is not very good at all. And he's really very, very sleepy at this stage. Now, one thing that should be sleeping at the moment, that doesn't seem like it is sleeping, is a pair of birds that Taylor McCurdy has, and we see them sometimes here, very seldom, but I'm quite excited that she's seeing them in the Mara. I definitely think so. Not that he would be capable of doing it right now, given that he's almost passed out at this stage. But I think Thamba is sitting dreaming of a big impala. He stood up just now, and he's not thin, but he could definitely do with some sort of a meal. So it would be nice if some opportunity came his way and he was able to grab it and get a nice, decent meal and not get stolen by the hyenas or anything else. So something like a little daiko that he can put up into a tree and feed off over a 2-day period would be really good for him. But you can see he's kind of curled back up again. He was up and then he just turned and decided, that's it, I'm going to sleep just like this. And so we've been thoroughly entertained by birds actually while we've been sitting here. I've seen so many different species of birds while we've just been sitting that have all come flying past us. It's been absolutely wonderful. I really have enjoyed it. We've had, chin spot batis, we've had red-headed weavers, we've had southern boo-boo, we've had yellow-breasted apalus, we've had all kinds of birds, just green pigeons. There's been all kind of things that have just been jumping around all over the place, and it's been wonderful actually just to sit in this little thicket and just see what's coming past us. Even though Thamba is fast asleep, so many birds around and so much life. When you actually just stop and look and listen, there's lots of things happening. So really nice to see. I'm afraid though, little Thamba is completely passed out. He's very, very sleepy. He's tired. He's not in any way interested in doing much, and it's much like Hosanna was this morning. Both of these cats in weather like this are not going to be too active. They might have been quite active last night. That's why they might be quite sleepy, and in weather like we had last night would have been good weather for them to hunt in. So you might find these two boys both were hunting quite a bit, and now this morning are just going to rest off before the afternoon comes, and then maybe they'll try and be a little bit more active this afternoon. So what I think we're going to do is probably leave little Thamba to himself and leave him to sit and just rest, and we'll come back this afternoon and try and have another look at him and see if he's active. But while we kind of move our way out of here, go check around Gowrie Dam and maybe towards the hyena dens, let's go back to, I think, the impalas, which must be with Taylor, but I might be wrong.